Over the last year on this channel, I've tried to cover a large variety of different games, mostly to branch out my audience and connect with a whole bunch of different people and try to get them to try different games, because I'm someone who just loves a good game. Could really care less if it's something like Balatro, where it's a card-based game, or if it's something like Astrobot, a platformer, or something like Black Myth Wukong, a straightforward kind of Soulsy action game. And something I really tried to push this year was also my coverage of older games, because personally, I feel like older games just don't really get the same amount of attention from the mainstream. Obviously, here on YouTube, there are channels and channels and channels dedicated to older games. So I'm not saying that YouTubers don't cover them enough, but I feel like major party studios and major publishers, it's hard for them to really talk about older games because they don't want to look back on what made them popular. They want to keep creating new stuff. However, as new stuff starts to suck, even though personally I think this was a really good year for games, there are always going to be people that say that there is no new game that could ever live up to old games, and that's totally fine because gaming is super subjective. Where am I going with this? Well, this year was a huge year for me personally because I went back and I played a ton of PlayStation exclusive games that I missed out on as a kid, especially because I didn't have a PlayStation until the PlayStation 4 Pro, and I only really played digital or physical discs. The complete opposite of what I just said. I only really played physical discs, and then the PS5 came out and I got that, and I've just been playing new stuff. And with the classic catalog and just PlayStation's ramp up of giving you access to their older titles, I've started playing a lot of them. Hands down, my favorite one, and honestly, probably my favorite franchise now that I've ever played on PlayStation, has got to be Uncharted. Now, I'm talking about Uncharted today, mostly because I just did a video talking about Indiana Jones, and that game is so much different than this one, but it gives me the same type of internal feeling of just enjoyment. But man, Uncharted 1, what am I gonna say? Uncharted Drake's Fortune is honestly probably the perfect first game in a franchise. It establishes a world, it gets you super intrigued in characters and invested into future relationships, it grips you with super good gameplay, and it just feels fun to play. It has an intriguing story, it's not that long, and it's just iconic almost at this point. Luckily, I've never seen the Uncharted movie with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, so I'm in the clear here when I say this is probably one of my favorite stories in general across this entire franchise, but this game in particular has got to be one of my favorites. Now, this isn't me talking about the game after only playing this one. I've played all 4 of the Uncharted games, and then I played the side kind of game, kind of DLC-ish, shorter game that came with the 4th one when I purchased the whole collection. This was one of the only franchises that I've gone back and purchased every installment of because I've enjoyed my time in it so much. But I'm mostly focusing on the first game here because I could make probably a 45-minute long video talking about all 4, and I just don't want to bore you guys with that. But what is there to say about this game that hasn't already been said? The world that they started building here from the very first level is just so kick-ass. They took an idea that's just not that special. You know, someone interested in treasure hunting, basically a modern day pirate or archaeologist treasure hunter. And you're like, oh, this is cool. It's been done before. And then they spin it on its head, Naughty Dog here does, with just some of the best character writing. This game is actually so funny. And when I was playing it the first time, I was not expecting it to make me genuinely chuckle for multiple hours. I genuinely think about this game's jokes sometimes because I just think they're so witty, and they're that early 2000s kind of like quippy style of comedy that I grew up with. I love it. The gameplay here is super tight and responsive. Obviously, it's a little different playing it on a PlayStation 5 than on a original PlayStation 1 or 2 or whichever one that it came out for. And I totally recognize that. However, I'm still going to say that the controls are great and move on from there. And the voice acting here across the board is amazing. It has that whimsical feel of being realistic, but also being super cartoony, kind of like the early Indiana Jones movies, where it's just you you know there's outrageous things. I mean, in the first mission of the game, you're getting swarmed by pirates, and then you find an old bomber plane, and then the plane explodes, and you have to run through the jungle. And as you run through the jungle, you're just beating the shit out of everybody you run into. And just that alone could be its own game. That whole premise in that first kind of second-ish mission could be its own game. And they just managed to pack it in here and have a story that makes you intrigued. I mean, shit, the first time I was playing this game, I knew nothing about the rest of the franchise. So when Sully got shot, I was like, oh wow, they really just killed this main character of this game, this main I almost said antagonist. They killed off this main protagonist who's the older figure for Nate. And I mean, it helps that me and Nathan Drake have the same name, but more importantly, I think it just shows that there was a lot of passion behind this game, and it just reeks through every nook and cranny. I also think the level design here is just so good. It's hard for me to say that I got bored at any part of this game. I was actively looking for things in every corner of this game. Sure, did I run into a lot of invisible walls? Did I glitch myself out of the map sometimes? Of course, this is an older game, but it was a lot of fun doing it. The gunplay felt really good too. It just, I don't know, everything here just works for me. And I think that's why this is such an infamous game. See what I did there? Infamous? That's a hint for a future video. But establishing a main trio here in this first game has got to be seen as almost a risk, because if the chemistry doesn't connect with people, if the story just doesn't fit together like a really good puzzle, then you're going to lose a lot of people. And obviously it did the opposite. This game went on to, I'm guessing, probably sell really well and warrant future installments. And we got one of the best, in my opinion, PlayStation franchises ever. Another reason I'm making this video is because I looked at my YouTube analytics and I actually have like a decent amount of subscribers that are in the 13 to 19 range, which is a little scary because it makes me feel really old and outdated. I bring that up here because I know that there are a lot of younger individuals who just haven't played these games. I mean, shit, I saw a TikTok the other day where somebody was literally saying that they didn't know that Harry Styles was in One Direction and they only knew because of the Liam Payne thing, and I felt so fucking old after that. But that has nothing to do with this video, but that's kind of just how these videos work. God damn it. But I know there's going to be people who, at least one person who watches my videos who has never played Uncharted, and I sincerely hope that you get the chance to do so sometime soon. I'm pretty sure that the Nathan Drake collection is on PC, so if you have a good PC, you can run these games. They probably run pretty well. I mean, they're older, so it can't be too taxing. Or if you have a PlayStation, I seriously suggest looking into a way to play these games because they're just all so good. And I know there's been rumors about an Uncharted 5 and they're gonna go with Nate's daughter or whatever. I don't really care about that right now. I care more about this and this first game. The music here is also so iconic. I don't even know how to describe how good it is. It's just one of those soundtracks that it starts playing and you're like, this is fucking Uncharted, and you just have to roll with it. And it's just so good, man. It's awesome. A little bit of a nothing burger video, so I apologize for that, but that's gonna do it for today. Just a nice quick video of me glazing the shit out of Naughty Dog before they release their next game. And I'm gonna do it 3 more times probably for the other games in this franchise, and hopefully by then Intergalactic comes out and we can all enjoy it because we all want good games to play, right? We're all gonna be civil in the comment section. There's not gonna be any sarcasm. We're all gonna just get along. But if you've played Uncharted, I want to know how you feel about the game, how you feel about the franchise in the comment sections down below. But while you're scrolling down to let me know your opinion, you're gonna come across this little white or red button with a little bell next to it. Go ahead and click both of those. And then you're gonna also see a thumbs up button. Go ahead and click that. If you didn't like this video, click the thumbs down and then scroll down to the comment section and let me know what you think. If you're new here, we've been getting a ton of new people to the channel. This is just one of the type of videos that I make. I talk about gaming news. I do live streams. I've been doing a fucking Pokemon Nuzlocke on live. So if you want to see me fail at that, click the bell and you'll know when I go live. But yeah, man, this was a really cool year for me personally, just going back and playing older games. So like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. This has been Nate, otherwise known as Wicked, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.